As of now in our user service, we are using this list to store the user data. But to store this data persistently, we will need to store it into a database. So in this video, we will take a look at Micronaut data and we will take a look at how this data can be stored persistently into a database. For our demo purpose, we will be using MySQL. So Micronaut data is a database access toolkit that uses ahead of time compilation to pre-compute queries for repository interfaces. It provides a general API for translating a compile time query model into a query at compilation time and provides runtime support for JPA and SQL. So to use the Micronaut data, first we will have to add it to annotation path processors. First we will add its version. So currently latest version is 3.2.0. After that, we will add it into the path processors. Remember here the order of this path processors is important. So first it needs to be for the Lombok. After that, we are having this path processor for Micronaut inject Java. And after that, we can add this path processor, annotation path processor for Micronaut data processor. Once we add this, we will add all the dependencies needed for this. So for example, Micronaut data Hibernate JPA, MySQL connector to connect our Micronaut data with MySQL, and JDBC Hikari, which is used to manage the connection pools. Once we add all these dependencies, we will need to configure the MySQL data source. So in our application.yaml file, we will add this data source with the URL as JDBC MySQL localhost, because currently our data we are using the localhost database, and the name of the database, that is user-db. We will give the credentials for data source, and for JPA, we will configure HBM2 DDL property with auto as update, so that once we restart this application, the tables will be created automatically. Now, to create the entity, we will have to convert this user class into entity. So for that, we will add entity annotation and give the table its correct name. So let's say users here. After that, we want auto-generated ID for our table. So at the rate generated type, generated value. Strategy, we will use generation type dot identity. So what it does is it will create a random indicate the persistent provider that it should keep track of the primary keys for the identity column, and we will also add the column annotation for all these columns: name, mobile number, and email. After that, let us create our repository layer. So here we will create a package as the repository and add user repository. We will have to have this as interface, and we will have to extend this with CRUD repository. This interface is actually provided by Micronaut data, and it takes arguments as our entity, that is user, and the type of the primary key. So in this case, our primary key is ID and its type is integer. So we will give here the type as integer, and we will annotate this with @repository annotation. So this @repository annotation provides implementations of respective operations at compile time. So basically, we are just declaring this repository as an interface, and internally CRUD repository will give all this save, update, save all, find by id, all these operations this CRUD repository will provide at the compile time. Once we add this repository, now let us make the changes in our service layer to use this repository. So first we will get rid of this user list and we will inject the repository here. So private final user repository. Once we inject this, now to create a user, what we will just do is user repository dot save method and pass the user to it. It is very much similar to Spring Data if you are coming from Spring background. For getting all the data, we have to declare here this find all method, which returns list of user. And here we will return user repository dot find all. Otherwise, by default, find all returns iterable. We just want to convert this iterable into user repository. Sorry, list of users. That's why we did this. Now for get user, what we will do is use this find by ID method that CRUD repository provides to fetch the user by its ID. And if you see the return type, it will return us the optional of our entity. So here what we will say is return user repository dot find by ID. We'll pass the primary key and there we can again say or else throw, that is if that user is not found by its ID, we will throw user not found exception and we'll get rid of this and we can replace this with method reference. That's it. For update user, again we are fetching this now previous user from our database. Once it is fetched, we will set the respective name, mobile number and email ID, and after that we will have to use repositories update method. So user repository dot update and we'll pass the entity to it. And same for delete user, what we will have to do is user repository dot delete by id. So this method will delete, we will have to pass the id of user and it will internally check and delete the particular user by its id. Okay, so once all these changes are made, we will run our application. Okay, so now as our server is started, let us go to check our database created. So here if you see currently we don't have any table. As services created just started up, I will refresh this and if you see the user table, users table got created and currently it doesn't have any data. So now let's go get back to our Postman. If we fetch all users currently, it will return us an empty list. We will create a user for Elon Musk. So the as you can see, the ID got auto generated. And if we go back to the MySQL, we can see that Elon Musk's record got created in our database. Now if we fetch all users, you can see Elon Musk in our list. If we fetch the user by its ID, ID1, you can see again the our record. If we give another ID, it will return us 404 not found. Now if we want to update this, we will change the name to Jeff Bezos and we will change the mobile number and email ID as well for user 1, user with ID 1. Okay, and if we now check this, with for ID 1. As you can see, the name and I mean all the data got correctly updated. We can also check this in database, and now we can delete the user by ID, and we can now again, if we fetch all the users, it will return us an empty list because user got deleted.